Welcome everybody to update number 50 for my Blu-ray collection. So yeah, we've got a fair few films here, most of which are from the likes of Arrow Video as they had a sale on, but so have HMV, and yeah, that's consequently had some of their premium collection on sale, as well as the likes of BFI, and even we've got a couple of 4Ks as well, one of which is a new release. So yeah, we'll look at a couple of standard Blu-rays first. First of which is Peterloo. So yeah, historical drama, and yeah, it's a little long alongside at 2.5 hours, but it's a really good drama, quite frankly, and yeah, portrays the Peterloo massacre, which happened in 1819 in Manchester, and yeah, great cast, really good build up to the actual main event of it's based on, and yeah, directed really rather nicely by Mike Leigh. Then we have Midnight Special, which has a really good cast of Michael Shannon, Joel Edgerton, Kirsten Dunst, and Adam Driver. And yeah, really well of a solid sci-fi thriller. Even got a printed disc, so yeah, there is that. And then moving on to the more special edition versions, we've got the likes of Dementia 13 from Vestron Video, who I've not had a huge amount from before. Struggling to remember actually what I have had from them before, but yeah, this is the first ever film from Francis Ford Coppola, and yeah, produced by Roger Corman, and yeah, it's got the director's cut on this. I've not seen the director's cut yet, I've only ever seen the normal version, but yeah, it's not the best film by any means, and yeah, this isn't the most extensive of releases, as you only get the slipcover, which isn't exactly strong, but at least the disc is printed. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what the director's cut is like, but yeah, it's not hardly the best start to a director's career ever, but it did give Francis Ford Coppola his start, and yeah, can't really fault the film for that. And then from HMV's premium collection, we have The Wrong Man, one of the few ones that I haven't bought yet. Mainly didn't buy it purely because it's not my favourite Alfred Hitchcock film by any means, although I have obviously grown a lot in terms of what I like as film, so I may well enjoy it again if on a rewatch. But yeah, really nice slipcover on this. Stars Henry Fonda and Vera Miles. Yeah, really like the slipcover on this. It's really nicely done, really nice matte finish to it. And yeah, with the release itself, you get a few art cards, and it's a double discer as well, so you get the film on Blu-ray and DVD, as you can see. So yeah, and like I said, you get art cards as well. So mild spoilers for the film if you've not seen it yet. And then a few shots from the film. So yeah, it's easily one of my favourite films with Henry Fonda in it, that is for sure, because he's really superb in the lead role. Just upon my first viewing, didn't find it to be as good as other Alfred Hitchcock films. And then we'll move on to the 4K releases. So got Superman on 4K. Now this isn't the brand new edition of the 4K, I believe, although it does have the new BBFC logo ratings on it, so it might well be. But I know that they released the whole 4-film series on Steelbook on 4K. So whether or not the Steelbook is using this version of the film or not, I'm not sure, but still looks really rather good in 4K. And because of the 4K films getting released to celebrate Warner Brothers' 100th anniversary, they actually released it at a cinema. So yeah, I got the chance to see Superman on the big screen, which in and of itself was a real treat. So yeah, and the 4K disc itself is printed, which is nice to see, and then you also get it on Blu-ray as well. But the big score, I dropped it then, is the fact that Superman 2 also got a 4K release. This and the third and fourth films, they never had a 4K release before 2023, but you also get the Donner cut on this version as well. So yeah, I've never been the the biggest hater of the Superman 2 film that was released back in 1980, was it? Yeah, never been the biggest hater of that film. I think Richard Lester did a fine enough job, but I've always been interested to see what the Richard Donner cut was like, given he obviously directed the first film and did a superb job with that first film. And yeah, I do on the whole prefer the Richard Donner cut. It's not perfect by any means. It's got some ropey CGI in places which have been done in like 2006 when this was originally, cut back together and re-released. So yeah, but still, you get both films on 4K and Blu-ray. So there's a standard Superman 2. It's on Blu-ray, And then you get the Richard Donner cut on 4K. The 4K looks great, by the way. And yeah, it does feel like Richard Donner's original vision for what the film should have been like, rather than Richard Lester, who put in way too much comedy in it for my liking, whereas the Donner cut has a lot better of a balance between the serious tones and the humour, and Marlon Brando was obviously put back into it because he wasn't originally put into the second film because he asked for a huge pay cut, like 13.5% or something like that, which, you know, it didn't make all that much money compared to the first film, so that would have been a big chunk out of the profits for the studio. So you can see why they didn't want to, but at the end of the day, Marlon Brando is like as well as Christopher Reeve and the other returning cast members, are like the connecting tissue between the two films. So yeah, it's a shame he wasn't in the original, but regardless, he is back in the cut version, which I really rather enjoy. And from BFI, we have Psychomania. So yeah, these were on sale as well on HMV, as he had like a 50% sale off a load of films. So yeah, not seen this yet, but I have heard good things from it. So yeah, and there's a double disc with a DVD as well, and you also get a booklet to go with it as well as that. So yeah, this has An Outstanding Appointment with Fear, The Peculiar Power of Psychomania by Vic Pratt, and I'm not sure what else. Oh yeah, Psychomania Riding Free by Andrew Roberts. And yeah, there's some short films on this as well. Hell for Leather, which clocks in at 8 minutes long. You got Restoring Psychomania, which is 2 minutes long. You got the Wilson Bros trivia track, which is 91 minutes, a newly produced subtitle trivia track by horror aficionado siblings Kevin and Nick Wilson. Then you got Roger Wonders Why, 19 minutes long. So yeah, with these BFI releases, you always get extras with them that are really rather nicely done. Also got Riding Free, which clocks in at 7 minutes long. Sound of Psychomania. You got Return of the Living Dead, and an interview with Nicky Henson. So yeah, seems like a really solid release, and I was surprised that I got the booklet with it, given, you know, it's on sale and it's been out a while. It came out in 2016, so, you know, it's a 7-year-old release now. And also got The Black Panther, not Black Panther the superhero, but yeah, The Black Panther. And yeah, it's based on true events of a guy called Donald Nielsen, who was known as the Black Panther, who perpetrated across England during the mid-1960s in a bunch of murders, crimes, as well as the kidnapping of a 17-year-old girl who eventually died as well. So yeah, it doesn't exactly sound like the most joyful of films, but it does sound like an interesting one regardless. And again, another double disc at Blu-ray and DVD, which have different prints on them, which is nice. And then again, you get a booklet, which is always nice to see with these. So you get Case Histories by James Oliver. Then you get A Matter of Facts by Michael Armstrong. There were a lot of protests as well around this film at the time, which effectively meant it was banned. Then you get Recce footage with commentary by director Bob Bentley. And then you get Recluse Review by F. Morris Speed. And yeah, he worked on the 35mm original print as well to get this looking as good as it can. And then from 101 Films, I finally decided to dive into the American genre film archive, also known as AGFA, and the first of those is Effects, which has the likes of Tom Savini, Joe Pilato, and John Harrison in it. And yeah, the first two of those did really well, good jobs on the Dead trilogy. Tom Savini working on Dawn of the Dead, and Joe Pilato being in Day of the Dead, which is my favourite of the original trilogy. And yeah, you get a nice slipcover with it, and the disc itself, which also comes with a booklet, which again, given this is on sale, they were selling these AGFA releases for £5 cheaper than normal, £10 instead of £15. Surprising that it comes with a booklet as well. Not the biggest of booklets by any means, but still, it is something extra. And yeah, it's got This Isn't What I Thought It Was, My Love Affair with Effects by Joseph A. Ziemba, and then about the transfer as well. So yeah, new digital transfer created in 4K resolution from the only 35mm theatrical print in existence. So yeah, and the print was made from the original 16mm and the camera negative, which is currently lost. So yeah, Agfa are doing a really good job in terms of saving films that only have a single print. And the same goes for sometimes Aunt Martha Does Dreadful Things, which, yeah, I have seen this now. I saw it after I bought it, and it is a little bit of a weird film. Doesn't quite live up to its premise or its wacky title, nor its kind of wacky artwork, but still, it is a good film. And again, this was saved from a 35mm print, and the only one in existence as well. So, yeah, whether or not these films are ones that I particularly enjoy is irrelevant, because at the end of the day, these are being saved from obscurity and being, lost to time, basically. So I'm all for it, regardless of whether or not I enjoy them. So yeah, they had all of their Agfa films on sale at 101 Films. Not sure if the sale is still on, but all of them were on sale, that have not been like newly released in like a few months or whatever. But yeah, definitely get into those if you're into those like lesser known kind of films. And finally, from our video, we have a few releases, and the first of which is Sullivan's Travels. So this is from the Arrow Academy range, which has long been defunct now, which is a big shame because it did a lot of good stuff. And yeah, stars Joel McCrea and Veronica Lake. Not seen it yet, but I have heard good things about it. So yeah, looking forward to getting around to it at some point. So yeah, there we go. And then we have a bunch of horror films, shock horror from our video of all things. So yeah, Don't Go in the House. Yet to have seen this one as well, but again heard fairly good things from it. Late 70s horror effort, 1979 I believe. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that. And then we have some more Japanese films to add to my collection, which, yeah, Japan has soared in terms of the representation that they've had in recently. So, yeah, we've got the Bloodthirsty trilogy. So we've got the likes of The Vampire Doll, Lake of Dracula, and Evil of Dracula, all of which directed by Michio Yamamoto. So, yeah, don't know much about these, never heard of them before. I saw them on sale on our video. But I figured, 3 films, didn't cost that much to buy. Why the hell not? It comes with a really nice slipcover on it as well, which is a little bit shiny. And yeah, the films are represented across 2 discs. So you get the Vampire Doll on the first disc, and then you get Lake of Dracula and Evil of Dracula on the second disc. So yeah, looking forward to seeing those, considering I've been really getting into my Japanese films. Obviously, it's been more like, like samurai kind of films lately, but I do like my Japanese horror. And then one of the few films I have seen that we were looking at today, and that is Shock by Mario Bava. Really, really good film, this. Really solid 3.5 stars. And yeah, stars Daria Nicolodi, who was in a load of the Dario Argento films, because she was not only married to the guy, but she was really, really good in them. So yeah, she was in like Deep Red and Opera and the like. And yeah, it's a really solid film. Not my favourite Italian horror by any means, but it is still a really good effort. And finally, from our video, we have Madman. So yeah, 1981. Basically sounds like a rip-off of Friday the 13th in some regards, camp counselors and the like. But still, it's a short enough film. It's only 89 minutes. So, and I've heard some good things about certain areas of it. So yeah, can't be all that bad, surely. And again, was going cheap, so why the hell not? So yeah, a lot of films there, some of which I've seen, some of which I haven't, but regardless, yeah, a lot of good films. And yeah, like I said, most of these have been on sale. I think the only ones that weren't were maybe the Superman films and what was it? Yeah, basically just those. So yeah, got a lot of films on sale there, saved a load of money. And yeah, of the ones I've seen, a lot of the ones that I've seen at least I do enjoy. So yeah, well worth getting them, and yeah, well worth adding to my collection. So yeah, they'll fit nicely in there. And yeah, just on terms of the premium collection, then you need to get your hands on these as quickly as possible if you're interested in them, because they're not making any more of these, and I presume that means that they're not reprinting any of these either. So yeah, they're probably going to be gone very quickly, or at least quite soon. So yeah, get your hands on these if you haven't already, especially if you're into these kind of films. The premium collection has done a whole host of great films. Obviously, some of them have had newer releases or 4K releases maybe at some point. I know likes of the Maltese Falcon and Casablanca have had 4K releases recently, but these are still well worth getting, and yeah, they're really rather good transfers as well for the most part, and they do come with like art cards or booklets or even posters at some point, which the 4K releases generally don't have. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.